There you go, Chief.
You just gotta introduce yourself. I didn't know that.
Does that change everything?
Can you beep stuff out?
Yep.
You just have to introduce yourself.
Yes, go ahead.
We're
It's all
ready to
yours.
go. Okay, I'm here because TJ hounded me. No, he sent an email last month. I said okay, but I'm Jeff Appel. I've been here since October of 16. I've met TJ through our neighbors that we're really good friends with. 20 years of law enforcement. I've done almost everything you can do in the field of law enforcement. I don't want to talk about it, but I've been a trainer, defensive tactics instructor, firearms instructor, SWAT team leader, advanced sniper on the SWAT team, patrol sergeant, patrol captain, chief of police. Anything fun, I've done it, and it's all taken away when you get around it. So, I'm happy to be here. TJ asked me to come and talk about safety, and I said, okay. I'm not a realtor, so I guess I would be here to maybe heighten your awareness to what could be out there. My wife, she doesn't call me paranoid, but I think if you meet anyone in law enforcement, if I go out to eat, I'm finding a seat where my back's against the wall, I know where both exits are, I want to watch people come in the front door if I can. I pull up to a stoplight, I leave enough room in front of my car where I can get out if someone's, nobody can pin me in. It sounds paranoid, but to me it's awareness. So hopefully today I can just heighten your awareness a little bit. If you have a question, hopefully this could be a discussion. Throw a cookie at me, I'm going to catch it and eat it. And I don't know if everybody ate their cookies, but okay. I guess if I'm going to start talking about realtor safety, I'd just walk through your process. And it's just things to be aware of. Today's day and age, you're talking about online. I've used MLS, I've used those things. I can look at a house on a generic search, type in a phone number, and my phone's ringing. Do you want to go look at this property? Okay. I don't know what all your policies and procedures are. I'm sure they're a little different. You have big offices, you have small offices. Some of you may have a secretary or someone that in your office. Clients, who are you meeting with? There's all kinds of people in this world, and I deal on the fringe of society, a lot of society that you folks don't see throughout your whole life. That's probably why my awareness is up here. I would hope I can raise your awareness today, but someone calls to look at a house. Do you know who this person is? I don't know what your procedures are. They should be coming in, sitting down with you and have a face-to-face where they present an ID. If by chance you're meeting with them alone in that setting, hopefully you're not. Introduce them to somebody in your office so that two people have seen them. You have a copy of their driver's license. You know where you're going. You kind of know who this person is before you meet them. Who has an in-out board? Or do you know where your people are every day? There's web-based in-out boards that are probably cheap or free that you can buy if you have a secretary that's staring at a computer screen like I do all day. You can see where everybody's at, how long they've been there. You should know where everybody is at all times, so you can check on each other. So know who these people are. Please yell at me if I don't know the ins and outs of your business, but when I came up here and looked at a house, we had to stop in the office. I met several people, so people looked me in the face, I looked them in the face. I believe my driver's license was presented. From there, be aware of how are you going out to these places. Are you inviting these strangers into your car and heading out to look at houses, or are you driving separately? If you want to be aware, I would suggest you drive separately. If your route, you're in your car, they're in their car, you have a route to go wherever you want. If you need to, they can go where they want to. Could you ride together? Yes, you may know this person. It could be TJ showing me a house. When you get to a house, I'm probably skipping all kinds of stuff.
That's right, you're good.
If you drive by the PD, you'll see a white Tahoe that's backed into the slot. I always back in, because if I need to leave and go somewhere fast, everything's in front of me. Where are you parking when you pull into a place? Are you pulling in the driveway, and then whoever you're showing the house to can pull in behind you, and now you can't leave unless they leave? If you have a street to park on the street. There's probably no way you're gonna get parked in. If you're out somewhere, parked somewhere off to the side where they're not gonna block you in, and you can leave. What kind of property are you showing? Are you showing a commercial property that's vacant? I know up here with cabins and residences out in the country, you're probably showing a lot of empty places. Squatters are a big problem anywhere I've worked. If you have an empty house and someone's homeless or looking for a place to have heat, they could be in there. If you're able to walk around a place before you show it, you might find an open door, broken window, tracks in the snow, any of that. If you know, what time of day are you showing a place? Are you going to want to show a building that has no electricity or everything's shut off and it's going to get dark out? Probably not. Or are you going to want to go out there alone? Probably not. Through that process, okay, who's had any kind of self-defense or training on anything? Okay, that's something to be aware of. If you want a team building thing in your office, you probably know somebody who's in some kind of self-defense or karate. Bring them in. It's fun. It could be fun. They'll teach you some things that you can protect yourself if it comes to that. I don't want to preach doom and gloom, but you know, these things happen, and if you're able to protect yourself, that's a good thing. If you have pepper spray, there's keychains that are batons, or I'm not going to delve into all the ways you can protect yourself, but just be aware of it. And if you can do that, it is a fun thing you can do, and you don't have to wrestle around and punch each other to train. You could be a presentation on options that you could do. You show a house, you walk in. Are you walking in front of this person and leaning into closets and turning on lights? Any safety recommendation I read, you stay. If you notice, hopefully you're not in contact with us a lot, but TJ's like selling a house.
$50 fine.
Yeah.
Right to our back.
When we talk to people, there's usually always two of us, and you would probably notice that one of us will probably be lurking around to your rear side, because that gives us a tactical advantage if something goes sideways. You can consider that when you're showing a house. Do you have to enter a room in front of somebody, or can you usher them into the room in front of you and always stay behind them? If you're going to go in a basement, there's light switches and darkness and all that, but can you stay behind them? That would be an advantage for you. What are you wearing to show a house? What kind of shoes do you have on? Could you run if you had to run? It's snowy. Could you get away if you had to get away? If somebody did have ill will and wanted to do something bad, what are your options? Your best option is to get away. Your other option is to have your cell phone with you, have it out. If you have human nature, the physiology of it all, you have it built inside you. If something doesn't feel right, you have to listen to it. Most people that fall victim, you interview them, they're like, something just didn't seem right about this person or this situation. Well, listen to it. Maybe you have, if you're showing a place, someone should know where you're at. You have your cell phone with you. You could have it in your hand when you're showing. You could have a code word back at the office if you think something's going bad. Hey, TJ, send me the red list on this property, and he knows right away. Okay, I'm going to call 911. Maybe it isn't anything, but. Just be aware, I guess. I'm trying to think of anything.
No, that's good.
Really.
Can I share one?
Yeah.
This happened in real life about 2 months ago within our office. It was about 5 to 8 in the morning, and we've got a front entry door for clients and a rear door where agents come in. And about 5 to 8, one of the agents came in, and there was a gentleman that was standing there, and he wanted to talk to a realtor about buying some hunting land. Kind of strange, but he came in. There was a floor agent on duty, and they ended up in the conference room for probably an hour. I was up front turning in some documents, and a police officer came in, a Baxter police officer came in, and he was asking the gal at the front desk if anybody looking like such and such had come in. Well, she didn't even know that they'd gone around the conference room. And she said no, and I said, tell me more about this person. And he described him, and I said, we did have somebody come in about 5 to 8 this morning through the back door. He said, where is he? And I said, well, in the conference room. I don't want to, you know, we walked, you know, I'm a little direct, I can be discreet too. We walked down the hallway, and he looked in through the conference room, and he said, yep. So he went down, he radioed for his two friends to come in, and they came in and arrested the guy. He was under arrest. He broke out of Essentia Hospital that night when he was under watch, and he ended up looking for a place. The agent was going to take him out, looking for a hunting land. He said he inherited a bunch of money from his grandfather, and I'll be honest with you, who knows what would have gone on there. So that just in the last 2 months happened in our office. So real world, be careful.
And you folks have your picture. I mean, you see, everybody knows realty. You're on billboards. You're everywhere. If you have a predator out there, he knows how he can be alone with any of you. All it is a request. It's just something to be aware of. If you can send 2 people to a remote location, I would suggest that. I know it's not always reality. And it's not always doom and gloom. This is just things you can do to be aware. These people are out there. And yes?
The other thing that we've really learned too in classes that we've been taking is that a lot of people don't know what pepper spray or the spray smells like or feels like when you get actually a whiff of it, and I think all police officers actually have to get hit with spray, and I think your tasers too.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's such that I always say try to make sure it's something that you know you can do under duress, because I mean pepper spray can make everyone within a certain radius just flat out.
I can promise you, every time I've been on a call where someone has sprayed pepper spray, which is usually my friend, my partner, I've gotten the pepper spray. I've used it one time in my career, and it's a great tool, but you're going to get a snoot full of it yourself, more than likely.
And a lot of times you don't know how you're going to react to that. So it's like, I hear a lot of people say, well, I got pepper spray, or I have the right to conceal, and but it's like if you don't know what you're going to be in that situation or never have had pepper spray sprayed on you, you do not know what that's going to make you do.
Yeah, and it doesn't always work.
It doesn't.
Nothing works all the time. These tasers are great. I've seen multiple people walk right through a taser, and this stuff doesn't always work, and it can make people angrier. You just have to know your best option is to get away and recognize the situation before you're in it, and err on the side of caution. There's no house that's worth selling for someone to be put in harm's way. Be diligent in your research of who you're with.
I have a question. If you do get caught, should you shut up or should you talk to them? See, I would think
You
that
would
maybe
talk.
I would talk. And I've always wondered this. I've always wondered.
They might drop you off.
Well, in just processing it makes me think of another angle too. We use what you call verbal judo, where you say you get caught. I don't know. It can be any situation across the board. If someone's angry, the situation I think of is we had a property owner in Savage when I worked there. We didn't want their house got taken from them. It's now listed with a real estate agent after foreclosure. They're still in the area lurking, and they're mad anytime someone's going in their house. If you're confronted with someone like that, that's yelling, you're always going to try to talk a little bit lower than them to try and calm them. A lot of these people just want to be heard, and if you can listen, that's great. If you can talk, that's great. If it moves beyond that, you have to use every option you have. If you can get away, you want to get away. If you have to fight, you're going to have to fight. And if you're in that situation, you fight to win. I mean, we all have grown up with conflict. Not everybody's been in a fight, but I think it hopefully will come naturally if you're ever confronted with that. That's why self-defense wouldn't be a horrible thing to be aware of. We all know if it's a male attacker, we have vulnerabilities in the frontal region and other places. You're gonna go for that. You could go for our eyes. You could. It's not pretty, but if you're fighting, you don't have to fight fair. You fight till you get away. If it comes to that.
Another area of concern is open houses. And
Yes.
we always recommend having multiple people, because if you got a whole bunch of visitors, then you can be overwhelmed and not paying attention. And a lot of times we're seeing perpetrators come in to steal stuff or case the house.
Yes, and another angle is, has everybody left when you're done?
Mm-hmm.
Someone could wait. So open houses, I would have two if you can.
So you're in the city limits, so as you're working through the city limits, if we're out and we see something that we don't think seems right, I mean, and maybe doesn't feel like it's 911, where do you want us to call it? Is it non-emergency, so they get a hold of you? What's the best process for us when we're out and about to make sure that you guys are getting informed of what we saw, whether it's in a house or whether it's, you know, when we're out?
Yeah, I mean, you can call our office, but we'll only answer 8 to 4. Hubbard County dispatch number is the best number to call because they'll always be plugged into us 24 hours a day. 911's okay too. That you're going to get a hold of us anyway, and you probably will see a lot of weird. I'm sure you all have stories we could tell till 5 o'clock tonight. I know I had experiences when I looked at houses up here. You look in a closet and you see things that probably shouldn't be there. So people walk through. So you'll see all kinds of things. If it seems suspicious, report it. No information is useless information. We'll always listen, and it could be the difference in preventing something down the road from happening, or stopping some other kind of criminal activity with something you come across.
You seem like you were going to say something about verbal judo.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about verbal judo. It's about lowering the level of conflict. I talked, and just being a listener and be able to understand people and try and, if they're frustrated, to try and just let them talk and calm them down with lowering your voice, and just using what they're saying. Just acknowledging that you're listening half the time will be enough that somebody can calm down. You could have somebody come into your office upset. If you hear that and you're another person in the office, 2 people standing there looking at somebody who's upset is always better than 1. I mean, and creating distance is great too, but if somebody's yelling face to face when another person comes up, likely that usually helps diffuse it a little bit, just naturally, if you have 2 people. You ever have somebody upset in your office, that way your best bet is someone is probably calling us right away while you're just buying time with that person. I mean, whatever the conflict is, it's not really worth it until we could probably get there to mediate, and you could stall that long, hopefully.
And I've never talked to anybody, any law enforcement person that's ever said, you know, don't call unless you know it's an emergency. So I would think that if you're concerned,
Yeah.
Call 911. It's not going to hurt unless it's just
yeah.
on purpose being difficult.
That's
But-
what we're there for.
Yeah.
So you're never going to, everybody always says, oh, I don't want to bother you. Well, that's what we get paid to do. We could be, likely we're bored.
Do you know if Hubbard County has an app that, I don't know if you know, Crow Wing County has an app that you can download, and you can anonymously put a tip in on your phone, and it goes right to dispatch for Crow Wing County. And it can be, whatever. It's like I saw a car swerving on the road, and of course you're not doing that while you're driving, but
We don't have that app. I'm aware of that app. It's all anonymous. We have a Facebook page. I get plenty of tips through Messenger on Facebook.
Oh, sure.
It can all be anonymous. Any way you can get in touch with us, we're more than happy to always help. And the more eyes we have out in a community, the safer our community is. And the more people report, you might not think it's anything, but we get calls all the time where we have all these break-ins at night, and then somebody will report the break-in, And like, well, you know what, I let my dog out and I saw a guy in dark clothing walking on the street at 3 in the morning and cut through the neighbor's yard. Well, I didn't want to bother you, to call. Well, the more people bother us, the more likely we are to catch people and be safer.
And you might as well share your news from yesterday with you guys.
Oh yeah, we went down to the cities yesterday and picked up our new police canine. So he's a pretty boy. He's gonna be good. So,
What's his name?
Jet. So he's a Belgian Malinois. He's a year and a half. He's a year and a half old. So his training will start March 5th. Well, it started yesterday. And you know, I was a canine guy myself, and then we went in there, and the way they're talking to Rob Gilmore, who's our canine guy, it's like, holy smokes, things change in 18 years. This is how long ago it's been. It's completely different. And I looked at him and said, I don't know how much help I'll be to you. But he's got his hands full, and he's excited about it, and I am too, because that'll be a great asset for the city to have that dog out there on patrol. So we're excited about that. And TJ had mentioned grants. I got an email today from State Farm. We were awarded $15,000 for a traffic safety initiative. So we'll have a speed trailer around town, which is what that grant was for. It can log speeds. If someone calls in and says, hey, I live in this neighborhood, my street, you know, cars are going too fast. We can put that trailer out there. It'll keep a log of all the data, top speed, top time of day, when are the speeders, is there even a speeding problem? So if you guys are aware of any, you talked about grants, if you can point us in the right direction, we'll gladly partner with anybody to help the city be safer. So, no, I probably missed the.
No, that's great.
I'm not a realtor. Maybe I probably have 12 years left of law enforcement. I'll be begging somebody. But if you have questions, it doesn't have to be that. You can fire away at me with cookies.
Well, I just have one experience, and it might help the rest of you. I had the seller of the home had open heart surgery, and in their medicine cabinet they had some pain pills, and I was showing property to a person I knew and their husband, and they brought their daughter-in-law along, and I heard her in the bathroom, and I actually saw her take the pills and put them in her pocket. So I guess my recommendation for that would be make sure that if anybody that you have a listing has pain pills or any kind of medications, they should put them away before they put their house on the market, because that was a very upsetting situation, not only for the person. I mean, I didn't know exactly what she had taken, so I called the seller and I said, will you check your medicine cabinet? I know this person took something, and he went right in there, he goes, yeah, my pain pills are gone. I go, well, I was just worried that you needed, you know, your heart medicine, you might, you know, whatever. He said, no, it's fine. I go, no, it's not fine, you know. So anyway, just the point to make, you know, that's part of safety too, because, you know, I couldn't really confront her at that set. It was just kind of an awkward situation. I brought it back to the broker. The broker said, call the people you showed the house to, and I did, and it got really kind of messy, but just be aware.
And that's something to be aware of too. If you're confronted with somebody stealing, I mean, I would call us right away. I mean, your job probably isn't to confront somebody for theft. Will you? Maybe. But I mean, that's what we do. That's what we get paid to do. So it's not worth getting in a fight somewhere, depending upon where you are. You can always call us and we'll fully investigate it later too. But you'll probably know what the situation really, what you're going to do or when you're going to call.
We have a flyer on the website that talks about prescriptions that you can give to your sellers, you know, when you go and take the listing, so that they can, you know, have something to look at, and then remember to put that stuff away or take it out of the home. So it's on our website.
What's the website?
And I know I've said it before, the gal in Arkansas that was killed, that real estate agent in Arkansas that was killed, that during the process of interviewing that gentleman, they asked, why did you target her? He said, well, I knew she was a real estate agent, I knew she would answer her phone when I called, and she would show up. So it was the easiest way to get someone here to kill her. That was
He
the-
didn't target that exact
Nope,
girl,
not
he
that
just-
exact person.
Just
Looked at-
anybody that would show up.
That's exactly right. He knew that he called her phone. She was a very successful agent, that she would just show up. So. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good. Very good.